Hello, everyone. This is for the Washroom project group. There hasn't been much activity in the Washroom project group. And when we started it itself, I knew this was going to be one of the hardest groups because, we don't like to give money. It is just the nature. We want money from others. We want money from the government. We want money from the rich people, but we don't want to give any. Like I just said, if you make over 20,000 rupees a month, based on some of the statistics that are available on the internet per month, you are making over, you are in the top 10%. So pretty much all of you are in the top 10%. So what are you doing for the remaining 90% of the people who are poorer than you? It's not your mistake that you are not giving. Uh, it's just a societal mistake. We just think uh, government has to take care of everything. And we don't understand what government is. And we don't pay taxes. Most of the students who are studying there at the university, it's free. They are not even paying a single paisa. So you don't pay anything. All through life, you don't pay taxes. And then you don't pay anything for, university. And everything has to be free. So how is that going to happen? So that's a conversation you need to have. I was expecting it was not going to happen. And Principal Sir was also very concerned that we were collecting money for that. Because, your parents would come and say, how could you take 1,000 rupees from my daughter or from my son? They don't care whether the washrooms are dirty. They don't care whether the bath, whether the what do you call, the lights are working. They don't care about the food. They don't care getting about all of the washrooms being dirty and bad conditions, environmental conditions, cause a lot of diseases, fevers, colds, coughs, and all of that. And all of you are already suffering from it because every time I call you, many of you have told me that you got sick. And I have been in this country since 1990. And 27 years later, I still have not gone to a doctor yet. When I was growing up, I did go to a doctor. I probably went to the doctor at least once every 6 months, maybe, or once every year. So, but now it looks like you guys go much more. And my children have not gone to the doctor, I don't know, at least 3-4 years. And I talk to my friends' children, and they're always saying every 3 months to 6 months they visit the doctor, or they get some medicine over the counter for fever, cold, and cough. So, so we are willing to pay thousands of rupees for these medicines and doctor visits, but we are not willing to pay 1,000 rupees for taking care of our own health. And so I knew this was going to be hardest sell. And I was scared too, because I knew once parents come into the picture, it was going to be hard. But I really wanted you to have a conversation at least. Everything is about a conversation. You cannot change a person's attitude, tomorrow. But you can have a conversation about it, and hopefully during that conversation some things make sense to you and some things will make sense to the other person. And then you can start thinking about your goals. Who do you want to be? What you want to do? And then say, hey, you know what? I think I see a different path which I did not see. So that is what conversation does for you, is that it can give you a different path. So, I know this is a difficult conversation to have regarding washrooms, but please do have conversations about washrooms, because that is one of the main reasons India is not productive. Every day your parents are sick or someone is sick in your company. When you have your own company and your employees say, oh, I can't come because my daughter is sick, my wife is sick, or my husband is sick, then you lose productivity. So, uh, you know, that in US, when they're building roads, they look at, suppose say you're going to take an extra 10 seconds, then they say, oh my God, you're going to lose $1 million a day because so many, cars are going through, and each car is, wasting time by 10 seconds. So that many number of people and that many number of seconds, and then you add it up, and then, it becomes like many hours and many days, and then, so much loss. And if you start looking at your personal lives, don't worry about all the other people, and start saying, how much money am I spending on for doctors? And you will start seeing, oh my God, we are spending a lot. So that's a conversation you need to have. Don't, it's not a big deal that people are not paying for washrooms. I was okay with it. But have conversations, guys. Have conversations. Sit down and talk. The same people like you who don't want to clean up a washroom or wash something, when you come to US, they'll be washing restrooms. They'll be washing, um, washing stuff in the kitchen. And these jobs are not at all fun. And but people will come and do it. I was talking to some people in the village the other day, and I said they were, the kids were not studying, and I said, hey, why are you not studying? They said, oh, you know what, we are going to go to Dubai. And I said, did you talk to the people in Dubai? They said, yeah, we talked to them. Do you know how long they work? And they said, yeah, we know. And do you know what kind of work they do? They wash bathrooms, washrooms. And they said, yeah, we know that. I said, why can't you do something here? The amount of money they're getting is about closer to somewhere between 10 to 15,000 rupees per month. And I said, you can do so many things to make 10 to 15,000 rupees a month. It's not that hard. And they said, no, we don't want to work that hard here. I said, so you're willing to work 16 to 18 hours in Dubai, but you're not willing to work 16 to 18 hours in your village or in the nearby city? And they said, yeah. So there is something to it about, uh, you know, being an immigrant, or going to a different country and you do things. I was talking to one of my relatives, and I said to him, I said, hey, don't send your daughter, far away, because the hostels are not good in India. So it's better to keep her at home and study. And he said, oh, no, 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 I don't want her to study here because she might talk to boys. I said, okay. But if she goes to a city or somewhere else, she might still talk to girls. And he's like, yeah, it's okay if she goes to a city and talks to a girl, talks to a boy. But she cannot do it in the village. I just don't understand it. How is that okay? And how is this not okay? So, these are the conversations you guys need to have in your washroom project. Why are my parents not willing to give 1,000 rupees? Why am I not willing to give 1,000 rupees? And you'll notice that you're willing to spend 100, 200 rupees for going to a movie, but you don't even need to ask your parents' permission for 1,000 rupees. Every month you can say, oh, I'm spending 200 rupees on something, on some movie, but don't go to the movie and just put that money away for the washroom project. And but somehow we don't feel like giving. That's the way it is. We'll give it to a temple, but we won't give it for fixing our own washrooms. And it's a conversation you guys need to have. The more productive you are, the more money you can make. Everything, if you are expecting the government to fix it, how is that going to happen? Are you willing to pay taxes? You start paying taxes. Suppose you want to pay taxes and you really pay taxes, okay? And the government has to be efficient. And that itself is a bigger problem. Instead of giving money to the government and expecting the government to be efficient, why don't you take care of it? So, two things I want you to think about. We all expect the government to fix it, or we expect rich people to fix it. And anytime we expect someone to do something for us, we give our power away to them. The more we take care of things ourselves, what is the use of politicians? Politicians if we don't go to the politicians for anything, do you know what will happen? Politicians will have no work. And if politicians have no work, how are they going to make money? So the more we do it ourselves is the best way to live, because our neighbors are more important than a politician. So start thinking, guys, start talking with each other. And now that you're all looking towards Kavya, maybe, okay, for arranging meetings. You don't have to look at Kavya for meetings. You can do it yourself. You can say, hey, Kavya, there is nothing going on right now for the last so many weeks in the chat room. Why don't we do something about it? Why don't I do something about it? Can I help you in any way? That is what a real leadership is. We don't need other people. We don't have to look up to other people all the time. We can step forward and say, can I do something? How can I help you? That's the best way to make friends. That's the best way to have an amazing future. The more you say, how can I help? Trust me, you will start seeing options and opportunities in a very big way over time. At this age, because you still have a limited exposure, you are not seeing much, but developing those characters of how can I help will really do a good, will really help you. So, you know what, guys, sit together and talk. Meet once a week and talk about washrooms. Why are washrooms so, dirty? How did now they're fixing it, or they fixed one or two of them? And but is fixing one or two is okay enough? How are they now? Will they become bad over time again? Are you doing something to make sure that they are not going to become bad over time? And so talk about that. Why did these washrooms become so dirty? Now, over time. And why is there going to be regular maintenance done? If not, what can be done about it? I really think you guys should sit and talk. It's your washrooms. It's your college. It's your life. Okay? Good luck, guys. Okay, bye.